We are going to determine the number and the nature of solutions. We are using this to help us figure out on quadratic equations how many solutions they'll have and what type of solutions those will be. Will they be two real solutions? Will there be one real solution? Or will there be two complex solutions or two imaginary solutions? What is going to help us find this is the discriminant. It is part of the quadratic formula, and the quadratic formula is the portion that's underneath the square root. And remember, when we find the quadratic formula, the A, the B, and the C are the pieces we find after we've moved everything to one side. The A is in front of the squared term, the B is in front of the variable term, and the C has no variable or the constant term. And don't forget they take their signs with them, so if it's a minus in front, it would come in as a negative. But the discriminant formula is D equals B squared minus 4AC. Be careful in your calculator with this, that you put whatever you're putting in for square in parentheses, because the calculator does not pick up that negative sign unless you tell it to. So if the number you find is positive, there are two real solutions. If it's 0, there's one real solution. And if it's negative, there are two imaginary solutions or two complex solutions. Those are the same. They are meaning towards the same thing. So let's take a couple of problems and let's work through it. And today we're going to focus in on just finding the number and nature of solutions. We're going to have to use the formula we just came up with, the B squared minus 4AC, to help us determine, using the discriminant, how many solutions we'll have and what they'll be. So the first thing we need to have is we need to have this solved to where there's equal to 0. So we need to move anything else away. And so in this problem, that 36 is on the wrong side. It needs to be moved over to the other. So I'm going to add 36 to both sides. There is nothing for it to combine with. So we have n squared minus 12n plus 36 is equal to 0. Now, I'm going to pause it here, and y'all are going to fill in the A, B, C. What would be A, what would be C, B, and what would be C? So now we have A is 1, B is negative 12, C is 36. Now we're going to plug into the formula. And so the formula says B squared minus 4AC. So let's plug in the numbers we have. So B is a negative 12. So negative 12 squared minus 4 times A, which is 1, times C, which is 36. So 12 squared is 144, minus 4 times 36, which is 144. And so we have 0. So that means that we have one real solution. So my discriminant is 0 and my number of solutions is one real solution. Let's do another one. So on this one, I want you to identify what A, B, and C are, and then come back. So you have moved everything over and you found out that the A was 11, the B was negative 8, and the C was 9. Now we're going to plug into the formula. B squared minus 4AC. So B squared, that is going to be negative 8 squared minus 4 times 11 times 9. And so negative 8 squared is a positive 64 minus 4 times 11 times 9, which is a 396. So when I subtract these, I end up with a negative 332. So that tells me that there, on this problem, I have 2 imaginary solutions, or 2 complex solutions. So number 3, I have 2x squared minus 135 equals a negative 3x. Again, we're going to stop here. You're going to identify what A, B, and C are, and then come back. So on this one, you end up with a 2 for A, a 3 for B, and a negative 135 for C. We are going to go ahead and plug into our discriminant formula, which is D equals negative B squared minus 4AC. And so B squared, that's going to be 3 squared minus 4 times A, which is 2, times C, which is negative 135. So that negative 135 is going to help change the sign in front of it. And so we're going to end up adding instead of subtracting on this one. So we have 9 plus, when we multiply all that out, we get 1080. So we add it together, we get 1089, so 1089. And so this is positive, so that tells us we have 2 real solutions. Work the next problem and see how many solutions it is.